Hello and welcome back everyone. How's it going? Hope you're doing very well. In our previous session, guys, we continued our work regarding creating a model for track spotlights. More precisely, we created the tracks or the rails. And today we're going to see how we can set or hang them from the ceiling. This is actually quite common, mostly in conference rooms. For example, you can see them set up on the table hanging from the ceiling. Talking about the tracks, and then the lights would be set in that track, for example. Now, guys, if you remember in our previous session, we created our rail, our track, using a sweep, and the sweep was set based on a reference line underneath it. So basically, guys, if we set a profile here, for example, when the reference is set on the ceiling, there would be this gap, in fact, in between the track and the ceiling. So what I'm going to do here would be activating Edit Profile. And then let's see what's going to happen if you, for example, move this profile upwards, all right? More specifically, set the edges here, okay? As you can see, the spotlights actually moved upwards as well. Why? Because we actually locked them to this sweep here. So obviously, they would act based on these, all right? So let's try another approach. Let me go back, Control-Z, and then I'm going to enter here. And now select this whole thing and move it upwards all together. Yeah, let's set it in an elevation code like this. The number is not important for now. Now, I need a dimension here from this reference. Let me reduce the scale first. Okay, so set the dimension here like this and then specify this parameter. And let's call it drop. All right, let's set it on instance. Okay. Now, I want to have a complete control on this gap here. But because I don't want to ruin the elevation code of my model, because, well, obviously we have nothing to do with length and width here, just the elevation code, the height. Yeah, because of that, I'm going to set this dimension here. Okay. And then another one on the other side. And then we can lock them both. And this way we can make sure that the elevation code of the profile won't be changing anymore. Okay. All right, now let's see what is going to happen. Let me just save everything up to this point. All right, now let's try the parameters to make sure that they are working correctly. We have 7 cm here. Let's change this to 50. See, the track moved upwards. Now, as you probably know, we need some wires, cables, bars, anything that could help us hang the tracks from the ceiling. Let me hide everything here. And then I'm going to set a couple of reference lines based on this work plane. So yeah, let me just do that. What's happening? Okay, here we go. Set one here. And then another one on this side. Okay. Now guys, remember, the gap from the ceiling could or actually should change, but we need the same profile at the endpoints of our cable. More precisely, I'm going to go ahead and set a dimension here. Let's say 5 or even more, like 7 cm. Then let's lock it down. Okay, lock. Now let's do the same thing on the other side. Lock. Let me just set this on 7 cm first. What's happening? Seven cm and lock again. Now let's work on a model for the cables. Now we can create their models in the project and then control their numbers. But to do this even easier, like for example to prevent mixing up the parameters more precisely, I'm gonna do this in another family template. Let's see what we got. I need a generic model. A simple generic model, which is going to be this one. Now, as always, first let's specify the unit system. Let's go with centimeters. Okay, 2. Okay. Now let's enter one of the views, like the back view. Okay, now I need a generic model. The item that I can use here would be revolve. Right now, let's specify a sketch for the cable itself first. Something like this. All right, and it's lower profile. What's the height here, guys? We got 1 point something. Yeah, Now remember guys, as always, the form of the cable is completely optional based on your own design, your own idea. Now set the axis line here, then move this edge rightwards a bit. And also I'm going to specify this height parameter, which exactly is going to cover this range here. Let me do it again. It's going to be up to this point here, okay? This will be an instance parameter called H, okay? And we set the axis line before, and this would be the cable. Now let's go ahead and load this newly created family into our project and set it, for example, here. All right, now, next thing that I need to do would be aligning the center point to this reference. And then we need to set the H parameter on the drop parameter that we created before. And this will attach the cable to the strip or the track. Now let's control the number. In other words, we need to reproduce this. So activating array, set it on last. Now select this from the center point and then set it right over here. Oh, and don't forget to align and log this one to the reference as well. Now let's specify a new parameter for the number of cables. More specifically, I'm going to go ahead and select this line. Let me hide these to work more easily. Okay, select. As I said, we need a new parameter. Let's call it cable number. And it'll be instance. Okay, let's go ahead now and load this in and see what we've done. Okay, I need to load this in here. Right, as you can see, we already have some track lights. They are embedded. Let's add this new one here. And here we go. See, this is quite nice. Right, now let's add more cables. For example, 5. Yeah, good. Now, let's set another light. Oh, and by the way, we can move this quite freely. We can use this point, for example. See, and as you already know, we can control the spotlights as well. Oh, guys, take a look at this. The shape handles are set up here now, so don't get confused. And yeah, guys, overall, now we have some track lights. Some of them are dropped, some of them are embedded. And well, obviously, we are able to control the length of the cables. Like instead of 50 cm, let's go with 1 meter. And yeah, everything works without any problems. And we can also add another profile here, a square-shaped profile more precisely, but we're going to talk about it in our future sessions. And yeah, guys, up to this point, just focus on practice and practice only. I think I can do something else here. Let me open up VG and deactivate light source for now. I mean, the whole thing was a bit crowded. And yeah, good. Now let's try controlling the parameters a little bit. Like, let's set this on 45. Now for this one, 80. And then this one, 20 degrees. And let's give them a rotation as well, like 45 here, then 90. And yeah, guys, there's no error, no warning, and basically no problems, and everything seems to be fine. Everything works perfectly correctly. All right, guys, we are done with our session. Don't forget to practice, and I'll see you guys next time. Good luck.